All right, everybody, welcome back to another video here on Financial Friends. This channel is dedicated to helping everyone become more financially literate in a judgment-free zone, just like Planet Fitness. No, in all jokes aside, this channel really is designed to be a safe space for everyone to kind of discover and learn about finance, financial topics, personal finance investing, and the whole lot of different things that go along with finance and money. So that's really what this channel is about. If you want to go ahead, join the friend group, hit that subscribe button down below. A, I greatly appreciate it, and B, I hope that you're able to get some value out of the content that comes from Financial Friends, the members of Financial Friends, and this YouTube channel. So without further ado, the reason you are here, we're going to talk about trends, how to discover trends, how to research trends, and just really how to understand what's going on in the world of customers, business, and what is popular. And that's really what we're going to be focused on. I want to preface this video with this is not how to invest. This is not what companies to invest in. This is how to discover things that are popular, how to understand how to quantify those types of things and decide, what is popular, what isn't popular, or what is more popular than something else. And again, business or a business is not a stock, and a stock is not a business. It is underlying the stock. The underlying business really lies beneath the stock. However, a lot of times stocks will trade on non-business metrics and non-financial metrics, hype, etc. That is kind of what this video is about, how stocks do that, but also just, again, understanding what companies are technically doing better than others in the world of, social media, the internet, apps, all that type of stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. Enough talk. First things first, I'm going to reposition myself here, and we're going to take a look at this video on the left side of your screen. Now, this is the App Store. This is the Apple App Store, and that is number one. The first thing that you can do to discover trends is to take a look at the App Store. So here's me just kind of scrolling through my phone. You could see here that, Apple, and this is specific to Apple. Google Play Store kind of has a similar features in terms of ranking applications and such. It doesn't get updated quite as much, but again, you can look through and see some popular things. You can see the App Store pushing these types of applications. Editor's Choice, people pushing Zoom and Cash App. A Twitter app. Now here you have the streaming type of stuff. So what streaming services are they pushing? Which ones are on the front page? Which ones do they want their consumers, to download the most? Which ones are they putting on the front? I think that is interesting. That's something to be noteworthy. But really what we're truly looking for is this. You can go in and you can rank you can check within any category as to what applications are the most popular at the time. Apps like the finance applications, food and drink applications, entertainment applications. These are categories that you're going to want to pay attention to. Why? Because you could see which bank's app is being downloaded the most. Is SoFi being downloaded the most? Is Robinhood being downloaded the most? Is JP Morgan Chase above all of those? You're able to get these types of metrics. What is most popular amongst iPhone users? And same thing with the Google Play Store. So kind of skipping out of this, social media as well. Here is the top charts. So these are the most popular applications by download volume as of late. Truth Social. This is the Donald Trump very, controversial type of app. I'm not picking, again, I've mentioned many times, I'm not going to be on either side of the political spectrum. I'm just here to give you facts, and the fact is that Truth Social was the number one trending app on the Apple App Store the other day. But this is interesting. We talk a lot about streaming on This Week in Finance. HBO Max, number two. You can also see Talking Ben the dog, a TikTok trend, and that's the reason it's getting pushed up there. So I kind of want to talk about that. The pros of using the App Store. It is very easy to visualize. You can clearly see that Snapchat is the 8th most popular app right now in the App Store, Facebook just above it, Instagram just above it. YouTube basically never leaves the top 10, so it's still up there. But you can literally see them, and you can see them very, very easily. You could spot these trends relatively quickly. So these are updated. I think Apple's is every 3 to 5 hours. I saw somewhere Google Play Store every 24 hours. Whatever the stats are, they're updated relatively frequently. So you're able to spot these trends pretty quickly. And talking Ben the dog might last for another week and boom, then it's out. But that could be YouTube. That could be some other popular app that is blowing up. So I think it's interesting to look. And then again, another pro is that you can sort directly by category. Some of the cons are, from an investment standpoint, this might not be 100% helpful. So just because HBO Max is doing very well right now doesn't necessarily mean it's a fantastic company to invest in, or that any of the companies associated with it or streaming as a whole is a good investment. It just means that the app is being downloaded a lot. That could be for a ton of different reasons. But again, these are just trends and ways to generate ideas. It can also be heavily influenced by social media and the way that people are laughing at prank videos or whatever it is. Again, perfect example, talking Ben the dog is only up here and will probably only stay here for a few weeks because it's a hot trend. Just like the land, air, sea thing at McDonald's right now could be a very hot trend. People are downloading the McDonald's app, let's say, to go ahead, order ahead and go get that. That doesn't mean that McDonald's is a good company to invest in. It just means their app is popular. But by that same logic, you could decide like, oh, McDonald's has been up in the top 20 apps for like a long time now. Maybe I take a look at the financials. And that's where we can kind of unravel the trend and get into the actual investment. So let's go ahead and move forward. Again, App Store, both Apple App Store, Google Play Store, very interesting way to think of trends and spot them as well. So let's go ahead and I will blow the screen up. We are going to go hop over to the other thing that makes it very easy to discover trends. And I think you might already be able to see the tab I'm going to, Google Trends. So this literally is trends. This literally shows you trends. So let's go hop onto the main page here. Obviously, you could see you can search anything. So I was playing around with this a little bit before. Let's just search invest. All right. So you can see a bit of a spike here in April of 2021, and it was 100 out of 100 between May 2nd and 8th. Now, my guess is between May 2nd and 8th, something happened. I don't quite remember, but my guess is that something did, and you can see it kind of tapers back down here and floats within the middle, pops up a little bit here, and that's about it. You can compare terms, which can be very useful. So we're going to go ahead and search SoFi. Well, let's do it by search terms so it's a bit more of a direct comparison. So SoFi, it was being searched. We're going to remove invest. But again, this is to be able to compare is useful. And we'll do that here in a second. You could see, again, floats around in these low numbers, nothing very interesting. And then obviously the Super Bowl happens. And so SoFi Stadium, or SoFi, is being searched a lot. And you can even see where the interest lies here within the United States. California. That makes a ton of sense. SoFi Stadium is in California. So you can see how, you're able to look back at trends, and maybe if you were able to catch them, as they're happening, this can be very useful. You can also see some of the related topics. Lucid stock, behind the scenes of SoFi Stadium. Robinhood stock. So let's go ahead and compare SoFi versus Robinhood. And again, we're just going to use both search terms. So obviously Robinhood a lot more popular here in April. Robinhood a lot more popular here, but SoFi overtaking it again because of the Super Bowl. But you could see where, again, this is useful. If you wanted to compare search results for McDonald's, search results for a specific company or stock, or a specific idea, maybe a sector, the financial sector. Maybe you're trying to spot fear in the market, so you can search inflation or how to, avoid inflation. You could search these things and see, are people looking these terms up? Again, there's a really good aspect to this because it is completely customizable, and that's one of the pros I have listed here. It also shows genuine interest in a topic. People are not looking up SoFi because they feel like it. They're looking it up because they're curious about SoFi Stadium. They're not looking up Robinhood for fun. They're looking Robinhood up because they have an interest in what the application is, how it works, or maybe, places to invest or something like that. There's reasons behind why results are being shown here, and this is quantifiable and comparable. This isn't, kind of like the App Store where it's just like, oh, this is number one, but I'm not really sure how many downloads it's getting. This literally tells you by number, by state, by region, related things, what is popular, what is more popular, and you can even change timelines. So within the last hour, from all the way back to 2004, you can track popularity. And again, this can be very, very useful. However, it can be a bit can be aimless. I have that written here. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading my own thing. It can be aimless because, again, people were searching SoFi. They're not necessarily searching for SoFi, the app, maybe SoFi Stadium. Again, that's a pro and a con because it does show genuine interest in SoFi no matter what region or what area of SoFi they're searching for. But you have to be able to differentiate between the two. And that is really the major con is you have to understand why people are searching it. You can't just assume that it's because the stock's popular or because people are loving it. Maybe it's a negative aspect, but again, something important nonetheless. Moving forward, real world experience. This is something I think is highly, highly underrated. If you walk into a Target and you have a fantastic experience, are you going to go back? Chances are, yes. If you go into Walmart and you have a negative experience, are you going to go back? Chances are, no. If you have a good experience at Target and you are, an average style person, average, temperament, such, I think that a majority of the people probably are having a good experience at Target. And same goes for Walmart. If you have that negative experience, chances are a lot of people are having that same negative experience. This can go with Chase Bank. This can go with Wendy's. This is really, personal experience boils down to really what the company is producing. The stock is one thing, but how is the real world actual company that's making the money, how are they performing? This is a first-hand customer experience, the frontline experience, and it is a pro of comparing real world experiences. If you did not like Wells Fargo, are you going to back Wells Fargo stock or are you going to back Chase stock? Now, you can have a bit of bias here. I tend to prefer Target over Walmart, hence why I said good experience at Target and poor one at Walmart. But I might show a bit of bias towards a company just because I want them to succeed, maybe because I already have an investment in them, or because I want to invest in them because I like the general idea of the company, or I go into this experience going into a Target not wanting to have a bad experience. But again, it could be a signal of just, is the company on the right path? Same thing, really, like Wendy's. Did I go to Wendy's a year ago and love my experience, and every time I go now is at a poor experience? This is something that you can compare, especially with the quality of products, things like Ford trucks, Tesla cars, all these other things. Is the actual product getting better or getting worse over time? That is really told with personal experience. And this experience can be online too. Is Chase Bank's website clunky? Is SoFi's experience online better? Are you having a poor experience using SoFi or Robinhood online? What is better? What is the good experience like? You can bring these with you into investing as a whole. I do also want to mention, of course, that you can ask other people their experiences. So you can ask an employee from Wendy's, hey, do you like working at Wendy's? What are the working conditions like? Is this a positive experience? Is this a bad, corporation? Are your managers mean because their managers are mean? How's the chain of command? How's the pay? What does the growth look like? Same thing at Walmart, Target, Chase, SoFi, any company that you have a friend that works at. Or even if you just want to pick someone at random while you're walking through the store. Hey, how are you today? Things like that. How's your boss? How do you like this place? I'm looking to be an investor in this company in Walmart. Do you like your job? Do you get treated nicely? You know, things like that can help in the investment process, help with the morals of making this investment. And another thing you can do is you can look within these stores. So let's take Target, for example. Are the Target brands being bought out more? Are the shelves empty of the Target brands, or are they stocked full of the Target brands and all of the name brand items are gone, right? That could show that, you know, Procter & Gamble or Johnson & Johnson is producing a better product that more customers and consumers like than the Target alternative. And maybe that turns you on to Johnson & Johnson or Procter & Gamble and away from investing in Target because their own product isn't as good as, you know, these other name brands. So again, something to think of, being out there in the real world. That's how the companies actually make money. Their Target's goal is to sell product and move product. And your goal as an investor is to find companies that do that. And so going into these stores or these banks or these restaurants is really the way to do that, getting real world experience and interviewing or asking the employees what type of sense they get from working there. Do they get treated nicely? Do they enjoy it? And is the business doing well? Or is the company looking at cutting people? Things like that. So again, not a way to invest, but a way to start to think about things related to investing and really looking at the actual business in the company rather than just going from, oh, Target looks like it's good financials, let me just go ahead and invest. You know, things like that. Moving forward, we have online reviews. This is something, again, very, very important. Do the customers like the product? Or do they not like it? So obviously I picked out some random speaker here, but this could be a Nike product. What do people think of the product? Here are all the reviews. This specific sneaker has 4.7 stars. Okay, so while Nike is a massive company that doesn't just sell the Nike Air Zoom Pegasus 38, if all of the shoes on the website are at 2 stars, I'm pretty sure something is going wrong, especially if these are all newly released shoes that people dislike. But this really helps with companies like Peloton that sell like 7 things, okay? Is this number 4.8 or is this number 2? Now, this is a very premium product that's very expensive and the stock is not doing well. However, the underlying product amongst people who have actually purchased it tends to be pretty good. Everybody really likes it. Everybody thinks that this is an actual community. There's no friction on the bike and they really like it. They love to ride. It's not just a bike. They love their bike. It's a great investment in your health. So if we think that Peloton is producing a good product and maybe their stock is undervalued because of everything going on right now, do we take a look at investing in the company at a cheap valuation? These are things that you can pick up from searching trends. Okay? Let's go ahead and remove this one. Boom, we can search for Peloton. We could see it spiked here, dipped throughout here, is spiking here, and right now it's on a bit of a downtrend. These are things that we can quantify and we can actually compare. And you can also go in the App Store and try and find Peloton amongst those apps. See where it's ranking, see how many downloads it has relative to other fitness apps. Again, all types of things that we can do. And one more thing I do want to point out is social media. All of my social medias are here if you want to go ahead and check me out on them. But again, all of this really boils down to, let me make myself bigger while I wrap this conversation up. All of this really boils down to the internet and social media. We all kind of slightly pay attention to the news and watch what's going on the news. When things hit the news, it's too late. Most times when things hit social media, they're also probably a bit too late. However, if you're monitoring and keeping track of these things and maybe you're, looking at trending sounds on TikTok and you're finding that people are reviewing specific Amazon products or Pelotons or whatever it might be, you might be able to spot trends ahead of the curve and be amongst the early investors in specific companies that have bright futures because you're utilizing social media. And social media is really where we're going to find all of this type of information. And then we can go to these other resources, check them out, and see what is happening. So that is my 5 or 6 things that I can kind of use to help find trends, spot trends, and get ahead of them. if you use one of these or you use a different one, go ahead and comment down below. I want to know what you use to spot trends within the market or to spot trends just really in the world in general, and how you correlate or translate rather those over to investing. So if you did enjoy this video, I know it was a long one and it was a rambly one. If you found it useful, if you're going to go ahead and use any of these techniques in your investing, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Let me know what other types of videos you want to see. Leave a like if you found this video useful, and I will see you all in the next one.